Listen, Ali, I will never forget what you did to get us promoted, mate. But like I told Connolly and Patton, we have Shakir Omar now, so you're just going to have to put up with the bench. You really want me to choose between you and Omar? Goodbye, Ali. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Queen of the South. It's Season 3, Episode 7 on the Impossible Dream as we look to win the Champions League with our Scottish club. And today it is big because we have Celtic in the league, which is a little bit of a free hit, I suppose. But then we have a chance. Well, we actually go to Hampden, it was pointed out last video, because we're playing Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup quarterfinals. With a bid there to get back to the Hampden, of course, in the semi-finals with a win. And as I say, no doubt we'll play Celtic, because that's what happened in the previous two seasons. Now, there's a bit of mixed news coming into this one. It's sad news, really. Ali Roy has, you can see there, announced his intention to leave at the end of his contract, which is at the end of this current season. Ali Roy, we'll never forget what he did for us that promotion season. He was absolutely brilliant. The problem we have with him now is that he wants to be a first-team player. I mean, he's a squad player. He's barely even playing as that, to be honest. And we have better strikers than him. He was brilliant. As I say, that promotion season, 1 and 2, even better than that. And that was... He almost single-handedly got us up, didn't he? But the time has come, I think, for us to say farewell. I would not be against bringing him back at any point, because I think he's a club legend, isn't he? He must be close to it, certainly, you know, in the Aussie villain world. So, yeah, sad news there, but we will get over it fairly quickly, because back for another season of Queens of the South football is Shakir Omar. He has had his loan extended. Now, we do have to pay some of his wages for next time, which I think is still very much worth it. He's going to be playing, so it'll be $2,400 a week. A-, obviously, he's a star. What we don't have this time around is the optional purchase of 1.9 million. I tried to add something in similar just in case we happen to have it at the end of next season as opposed to the end of this season. But Atalanta weren't willing to put that in. But we'll see what happens. You know, maybe we'll have the 1.9 into this season. We might still be able to sign him. I'm not quite sure how that works. But anyway, Shakir Omar is back for next season, and that is absolutely massive. We do have a little bit more bad news coming into this episode, though. If we go to the medical centre, we will see that our captain, Iacoviti, is out 2 to 4 weeks, so he's going to miss this episode. He's got a twisted ankle, and it is a blow because we look a lot better, for the most part anyway, we look a lot better defensively when he's playing there at centre-back for us. And as I said, he is club captain, so it's a blow, particularly ahead of the Celtic game. I think we can probably expect to beat Queen's Park with or without him, but we'll miss him against Celtic. Now, there's 2 games to catch you up on since last episode, both in the league. The first one was against Livingston, so let's see how we did there. Goss gave us the lead, and he then picked out Shakir Omar to seal the points. So we rode our luck a little bit in this one. 2-0, I think, flatters us. You can see from XG, we did out-XG them, but that's a penalty in there as well. They outshot us. They looked very dangerous, and I think poor finishing on their part, it really cost them. I think they actually could easily have beaten us on the day, so we were a little bit lucky, and yeah, the score definitely flatters us. Next up, it was Hibernian. We went in front when Thomas capped off a great passing move, but Hibs drew level to take a point. This was your stereotypical game of 2 halves, to be honest. We were quite good in the first half, got the goal, and then second half, I mean, we scored a better goal. That should count for something, shouldn't it? But you can see, in the end, they out-XG'd us quite comfortably. And again, perhaps we were a little bit lucky to come away with anything, but I think a draw was just about fair in this one, despite what XG and some of those match stats would suggest. We had more possession, and that's what really matters, isn't it? Ask Pep Guardiola, he'll tell you. So that is the 2 games we had to catch you up on. A quick look at what it means for the league table. We are back to 3rd. We have a game in hand as well. That is the game coming up here against Celtic, though, because it's a Sunday game, as you can see up the top there. So if we were to do anything against Celtic, it's a bonus. But as things stand, we're a point ahead of Aberdeen, and we do have an inferior goal difference. So that's only likely to get worse. Let's face it. And then, of course, it is off to Hampden Park to face Queens Park in the Scottish quarter-final. But we'll get to that when we get to it. First up, it is Celtic. And this is what we're doing against them. Now, a reminder, Ange Postecoglou has left and Paul Lambert is their new manager. So we haven't come up against Paul Lambert before, against either Celtic manager anyway. We have when he was at Dundee United. So we're expecting a 4-2-3-1 formation. Now, I don't know if we look to attack this the same way that we would sort of went about beating his Dundee United side. But I think we've shown that my old trick of 4-4-2 with two defensive midfielders is not working anymore. So this is the team we're going with. It's Eastwood in goal. It's Hendry, Feratovic, Masonda, and Spittle as the back four. Goss, Morton, and Lyon in midfield. Gribben is going to play the number 10 role. The reason I'm doing this is he's a good free kick taker. I'm hoping that if we get an opportunity, he'll be able to bang one in for us. It's going to be Bishop and Lutzi up top. The reason we're rotating a little bit here, A, it's a little bit of a free hit, but B, we've just got a few niggles. McPherson's injured, obviously Iacoviti as well. Omar is you can see there, he's not completely fit. I just wanted to take the opportunity to rest some legs, and we'll see what happens, I guess. All right, so we can see the team sheets there, Villain versus Lambert, and I mean, they haven't made any real signings since Ange left, I don't think. Did he leave before? I can't remember if he left before the transfer window or not. But anyway, all the pressure's on them. Go out there, cause an upset. We can just about get on board with that, can't we? We've got nervous, apprehensive players. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. It's almost like they read my mind, isn't it? All right, so here we go. Celtic come to Palmerston Park, and we're not in the greatest form there, are we? But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Celtic, unfortunately for us, are in very good form. So it's as I've said before, these games are a little bit of a free hit for us. We'll just see. Coming up against... It's because, I should say, to try and explain my team selection in preempting a bit of a hammering here. It's because we're playing them with the new manager, with Lambert, and I'm fairly confident this is the sort of team that I used to put out against these Dundee United side. Now, yes, they beat us a few times, but when I was starting to get to terms with that, this is kind of how we played. So... it's one of these. Celtic are a better team than Dundee United, obviously. And I could put out our strongest team and we could still get beat, couldn't we? So, tactically, they're supposedly going to be a counter-attacking team. So, we're just sitting deep, compact, just trying to invite the cracking ball for Bishop. Oh! Bishop really needed to hit the target there, didn't he? So anyway, we'll just see how it goes. And if we get a 0-0 out of it, like I say, we're sitting deep, compact, just trying to not give them any space to counter into. But sort of make them come onto us a little bit more, and maybe we find a little bit of space that we can attack them into as well, in behind them. But we'll see. So far, so good, to be honest. Should we be attacking Celtic? Possibly not. We've got another highlight here. Hendry with a throw. Goss brings it down. Feratovic. I should say too, don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure you're nominating for your Viewers Player of the Year. Thank everybody who's nominated already, of course. Now, in terms of loans for next season, while I'm thinking of that, we could get Tyler Morton back, but we're going to have to pay a wage of his. Oh, it's Morpie again. He always seems to score against us. He's becoming the... who was the guy that always scored for Linfield in the early days? I've gone blank. Lavery. He's a Lavery of this impossible dream, I think, is Mopai. Oh, Masonda was there as well. And late in the first half. I did do some endurance training, actually, in between the episodes there. We did an endurance session, just because we seem to be conceding goals late in halves quite a bit. But that clearly hasn't done anything, has it? And it's a shame because make it meant it wasn't good. It was a real battle. Come back with a draw here. We're only one goal behind. Yeah, let's go with that. I don't like that we're looking quite as nervous as we are. But, yeah, it's not ideal, is it? Bless. I mean, Spittle hasn't played. Masonda hasn't played for a while. We could bring Kieran McKenna on for Masonda. That's something we could do. I don't think we were particularly bad. It's sometimes it's difficult, isn't it, when the match ratings aren't particularly good, but we've more or less executed the game plan. That's a good block by Feratovic. So I've always found it a little bit confusing. I always go with sort of how the game is going more so than match ratings, but it's difficult not to look at the match ratings and think, oh, you're quite crap. But we've more or less done what we wanted them to. All right, I'm wondering Bishop. He had his chance. He hasn't taken it. Let's get Josh Thomas on for him. Let's get McKenna on for Masonda, who's not having a great day. Some of this could be down to match sharpness as well. So it might be a little bit harsh on some of the players. I don't understand. I don't know if anybody has come across this. We seem to have Gribben is just not working. So let's get Summers, see if he can come back and haunt his former club. We have an under-21 squad, but they don't play any games, which is frustrating because it would be nice if they had, even if they just played friendlies, which I guess I could technically organise, but who's got the time? Summers wins it back and then just hacks it upfield. Benjamin, it is Ben Summers, isn't it? Summers, come on, mate. A little bit of composure, please. There's the ball back the other way, and have we given them that space to counter into? Hendry's there. Don't lunge in, boys. Don't lunge in. I mean, 1-0, I mean, even if they get a second here, and I think he's offside, isn't he? No, it's a good save from Eastwood. Even if they were to get a second, it's not the worst. Their goal difference doesn't take too much of a hit. It does make you wonder if we got someone like Omar up there, if he would have done a little bit better. But here we go with Thomas. Now, he's not the slowest. Can he pick a pass? No, he's just kind of, looks like he was trying to win the throw there as much as anything, didn't it? Is there anything in this for us? Let's try raising the tempo, and is there anything else? Let's not look for overlaps. That's more or less how we were playing. Defensively, we've been fine, so we won't change too much there. I say we've been fine. We've conceded a lot of shots, haven't we? All right, can we win this header and go up the other end and nick a point? There's about 90 seconds to play here. Cross comes in. It's away by McKenna. Oh, it's back in. It's hit the post and it's over the top. Spittle is having an absolute nightmare. He's one that I was trying to sell him in January. I offered him around a little bit. There were no takers. He's one that, I mean, he served a purpose first season up, didn't he? But I think we've kind of moved past him. He's not bad back up in midfield, but he's not going to be first choice. We've got a better right back in now. So he's one of those that can leave when he's ready. But it looks like that's going to be it. I have to say, I think tactically we kind of got it right. Maybe the quality of the players were what let us down. We had that one chance, didn't we, Bishop, in the first half. If he puts that away, I mean, the XG tells, I mean, we did not create much, did we? So maybe it hasn't quite worked exactly. But I'm proud of you, boys. I think if we can take that sort of defensive performance, I know they had a lot of shots, but we didn't really see that much from them in terms of highlights. If we can take that and add an attacking threat to it, then, we're not doing too bad, are we? But, yeah, we definitely do add an attacking threat. Anyway, guys, wait right there. We're off to Hampden next. It's Queen's Park in the quarterfinals of the Cup. Can we make a third consecutive semi-final? All right, welcome back. We're getting ready to face Queen's Park, of course, but we have a little bit, I mean, it's bad news because it's an injury. It's a season over for Harvey Arreo. 3 to 4 months with a torn calf muscle. He's not been a successful signing for us. We weren't going to get him back next year, but we do still need to pay him. He's $2,000 a week now to the end of the season, even though he's not playing because I can't terminate his contract at this point. So I think perhaps, thankfully, he has played his last game for us, but yeah, it leaves us a little bit short at left back, particularly with the Iacoviti having picked up an injury. And, I mean, Spittle as well is out. McPherson, fullback is a little bit of a weakness for us in terms of squad depth just now. But let's have a look and see what we're doing here. It is same formation that we faced against Celtic, actually, 4-2-3-1. Now, they are coming, I think it's 8th or 9th, so sort of struggling a little bit in the championship. This is the team we're sending out. It is Eastwood in goal, Hendry, Feratovic, Alafanwa, and Brady as the back four. It's Goss, Cochran, and Lyon in midfield. Hopefully these three will be around next season, and that we own them all, of course. They're all our players, so that is an all Queen of the South midfield. McAllister back in at number 10. It is Luizzi and Omar. We're going to try double advanced forwards. What we do have between now and at least the split, hopefully all the way to the end of the season, is just one game a week. So we shouldn't have an issue like we had against Celtic, where we had just played a couple of games coming into that of tied legs. We should be able to just pick our best team now till the end of the season and see where that takes us. All right, so we can see the team sheets there. Do we recognise James Chester is there? Barry Bennon. So there's a couple of old boys there. And I would have had a look at Barry Bannon. Actually, he might have done okay in our midfield, depending what he's like physically. What do you want to say to everyone? Put on a show out there. I mean, we should be quite heavy favourites for this, and I would argue rightly so. So let's hope we do go and put a show on. While waiting for the game to get underway, I should say a very Merry Christmas to everybody for tomorrow if you're watching live or whenever it may be. Yeah, hope everybody has a great festive weekend. Hopefully there'll be some Boxing Day football, though I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few more cancellations of games yet. Can we go and win this back? I think for confidence it would be nice to get the first goal. If you look at our recent form, just in terms of results, it doesn't make great reading, but I think a lot of that is just December, January into February. The fixtures just pile up, and Jesus, that was a little bit close. I think there's a block of maybe Olafunwa on the way through there. And I think we just struggle a little bit for squad depth and a few injuries. And I think it really affects us. And we know we had that little blip just in general in form, which I think we've come out the other side of now. But, you know, that obviously didn't help the situation at all. But yeah, it would be nice to get the first goal here, regardless of anything else. All right, I'm wondering, let's try raising the tempo. I'm experimenting a little bit with the tactics, just trying to find something that works for us. You'd argue that this isn't quite working for us. Let's take that off. I'm trying pass ball into space and be more expressive and work the ball into the box. Just seeing if we can just sort of ping it around a bit more in the attacking third. But with an XG of 0.04, it would suggest that's not quite working, is it? So let's try this. I mean, just if you throw enough mud, something will stick, won't it? Here we go. Bradley with a throw. Lutzi has it. Bradley. Can he get that cross in? Omar's lurking. Oh, nice little 1-2 there. There's the cross. There's Omar. Oh, he's hit the post. But a promising sign there at least. Signs of life from our Queen of the South. But it's certainly not been a classic. And yeah, it makes you wonder exactly how we can fix this. It's not good enough. Should we go with that? Absolutely unacceptable. I mean, there's a few defenders that are playing well, but it shouldn't be coming down to the defenders, should it? We need to be creating more. And I mean, at the end of the day, this is a struggling championship side, and worryingly, it's possibly certainly our best fit side, I'd say right now. So changes may be required here. All right, McAllister's not having a great game. Let's get Bishop on for him in there. Lutzi's not having a great game. Oh, wait, we'll see. Oh, it's a free kick to defend. Bannon whips in a good ball, and Eastwood has made a very, very important save for us there. Let's get Thomas on. I'm going to say the double advance forward hasn't worked. Thomas is good as a pressing forward. I don't know if it's extra time or if it is a replay. I mean, we don't really want either, to be honest, but it's just not working, is it? All right, let me think. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to raise the tempo and look to exploit the flanks, so that would be the wing backs. We've made a sub. Goss is not having a great day. We're going to bring Elliott on for him. He's very, very highly rated, so we're going to give Potential a chance to shine as much as anything else. I've picked him over Morton for no other reason than call it a manager's hunch. So if we can give it a focus. We've had 12 shots to their 7, but only 3 on target. All right, what's going to happen here? Lyon picks up a loose ball. Bishop has it. Overlapping run from Hendry. Can he get across into the box for us? He's done well. It's Thomas. It's headed away. Bradley should pick that up. He's got support inside. He gets the cross in. It's towards Omar. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. Now, Goss would normally take it. It looks like it's Bishop. I don't think I've seen him take a penalty. Puts it away, though. And in the 86th minute, it's harsh on Queen's Park. But we're 1-0 up. And hopefully we'll be able to hang on from here. Maybe the key was just looking to exploit the flanks rather than looking for the overlaps. So to get, I'm assuming the difference is just getting the ball out there early if you're exploiting the flanks as opposed to waiting for them to get forward if you're looking for the overlap. So that appears to have worked for us. Clock is ticking down. It's not been a classic. It's not been a classic episode, to be honest. Maybe some chance conversion training's needed, but that's a very good defensive effort. We've got the goal, albeit from the penalty spot, and it wasn't great, but it got the job done, didn't it? So there we go, in control as Queen's Park brushed aside. That doesn't really tell the whole... I'd be annoyed if I was Queen's Park manager and that was the headline. But a little bit of money in the bank. And we do, for the 3rd season in a row, make the semi-final, of the Scottish Cup. And that's nothing to sneeze at, you know. We got promoted like the first season, didn't we? Anyway, guys, wait right there. We will be right back to find out who it is we've got in the semi-final. All right, so we've got the draw coming up here for the semi-final. It's Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, Hibs, and Queen of the South. There must obviously be a game that hasn't taken place yet. That would be Hibs or Rangers. So you would imagine it's Rangers, in which case it's the top 4 in the Premiership are the semi-finals. So there is no real easy draw. We'd obviously rather Aberdeen, but no doubt we'll get Celtic, as we always do. Rangers or Hibs have Celtic. So it's going to be Aberdeen, who are not an easy opponent at all. But we've avoided the Old Firm all the way to the final. If we were to get past Aberdeen, we would be going to the Scottish Cup final, which would be huge. And of course, it would more or less guarantee us European football because it would either go to us as winners or an extra spot in the league, which would, essentially guarantee us a spot in Europe. So that is fantastic. If you've enjoyed that, guys, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And of course, nominate your nominees for Viewers Player of the Year. I think what we'll do is we'll come back next time. I don't know if there's going to be a game after St Johnstone because that'll be after the split. It'll be the semi-final plus a league game. We'll obviously find out what league game that is going to be next episode, I suppose. But until then, guys, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. There's the league table as we bid farewell. And I'll tell you what, we're not that far off the bottom half here, are we? Anyway, it's only 3 games to the split. We should be fine. Europe's looking good, guys, and I'll see you next time for the semi-final. Take care.